Using AI in green intelligence to save the Earth. My name is Sarah G, and today I'll be introducing to you Green Intelligence, a project I made aiming to help decrease carbon dioxide emitted into the air. The average American household emits around 22,000 pounds of carbon dioxide a year. What if I told you we could prevent a considerable amount of these emissions not by cutting down on your energy usage, but by simply changing the time you use it? The premise of green intelligence is to use AI forecasting and 2 to 3 years worth of data to help you predict which time to use energy-intensive appliances like your
Yeah.
dishwasher or your EV. The program can tell you what times it's greenest to use these appliances and when to avoid using them with its forecasting components, and its data compiled from Electricity Maps API. So how does it exactly work? First, I use Electricity Maps API on Python to get the carbon intensity of each hour of the day of the year. Carbon intensity is how green our energy is, and it refers to how many grams of carbon dioxide is released to produce a kilowatt hour of electricity. Say, if you're charging your EV at a high carbon intensity hour, you'd be emitting more CO2 than if you charge your EV for the same time during a low carbon intensity hour. This is because the energy makeup for the high carbon intensity hour would be more reliant on fossil fuels rather than clean energy. Upon getting all the data for carbon intensity, I converted it all to CSV file to be fed into the AI forecasting components. I used a Python package Profit, which is an AI forecasting, time series forecasting made by Facebook. And it's used in many applications across Facebook for producing reliable forecasts. Profit would forecast the next 24 hours, and the 3 hours with the highest carbon intensity would be when we discourage high energy use. And instead, we would recommend the 3 hours with the lowest carbon intensity to use the energy. Finally, I worked on the front end of Green Intelligence using tkinter to make a simple but efficient user interface. So now I'm going to briefly show you the app on Python. So upon entering the program, you have to enter which state you live in. For example, I live in New Jersey, so we type in New Jersey, we click Save State and Next. And then this is when the Profit is compiling the data and generating its forecast. Afterwards, you would be escorted to the main screen where a graph is displayed of the forecasted carbon intensity of today. As you can see, it takes some time to load because there's a significant amount of data as seen here. So once it loads, you can see the graph, and it tells you that the best time to use your appliances would be at 11 a.m., 12, and 1. Because as you can see around here, it's the lowest carbon intensity. And then at around 3, 4, and 5 a.m., it would be the worst time to use your appliances because it's the highest carbon intensity. You can also click Display Forecast, and then it will show you the 2 years worth of data and then the predicted carbon intensity. So now I'm just going to briefly show you the code. So this is, of course, importing the libraries. And then this is just setting up the tkinter window. This would be the function for the button that shows the forecast. And then this is a relatively important function which records the state that you enters, and then it sorts it into a region. For example, I entered New Jersey, so it was sorted into the region META PJM, which is important because then Python could be able to refer to this doc with its corresponding data to META instead of, for example, New England. And then this is the main function, which runs the forecasting and shows the information. This is setting up Profit and getting the last 24 hours worth of predictions. And then everything else is pretty much parsing the carbon intensity, getting the 3 large and 3 smallest carbon intensity hours, and then making all of the data user-friendly and readable. And then this is just showing the bar graph. Okay. So using this, we could reduce household carbon footprints without forcing people to use less energy. Rather, we could promote using it smartly. If adopted broadly, green intelligence can boost the renewable energy industry, and we may achieve net zero faster, safer, and happier. With AI advancements and improved forecasting systems, the doors are now open for new innovations such as green intelligence to help improve our lives. I hope you can see the potential this project has, and I thank you for listening. Any questions?
Yeah. So green intelligence. Uh, I was just wondering how far into the future does the model predict uh
So
for
so pretty much what it does is it takes I give it data from like